Top of the morning, assalamu alaikum. Comrade salute, revolutionary salute. Alright, so these are the two things we're gonna discuss. One is the petition. I still have the petition circulating, and that petition is to make sure that the bill does not come into law. So that's to go against the bill that Letitia James is trying to push, which she is trying to make it illegal to have a vest here in New York State. We need 100 signatures or more. The more, the better. However, please sign a petition and share it amongst your friends and family members and loved ones. A vest could save a life. And secondly, is the Second Amendment, the right to bear arms. Here in New York State, an unregulated militia is absolutely legal. So if you want to bear arms and you have a license or a permit, however, in the state of New York, it's the hardest because you got to get your permit or your license through the NYPD. Yeah. So New York State has the hardest, and Puerto Rico has the hardest. They said just New York State has the hardest laws or hardest rules and regulations to get a gun license here in the state of New York. However, for the comrades, if you're in New York, even if you have a felony, you can still go to the gun range. However, let's say, for example, each gun range is different, but the gun range that's on around 30-something Street, that particular gun range, I believe is West Pistol, something to that nature. That one, they won't let you, unless you have a license, they won't let, you won't be able to use a gun, according to their website, but they will let you use a .22 rifle. A person with a felony can still use a .22 rifle. As a civilian, you can still use a .22 rifle. That is legal. If it's automatic, I'm not sure. However, when I go to the gun range, I will make a video and I'll let you know how the gun range is here in the state of New York. So now, once again, so bills are being passed throughout the country. All right, so join your militias. If you don't want to join the military, you can join the militias. An alternative to the street organizations, an alternative to the street life, an alternative to the prison organizations. However, it is still open to individuals coming from prison organizations, and we still work with prison organizations, and we still open to people that's coming from street organizations, and we still work with people who are in street organizations, and we stand in solidarity with other vanguards, such as the Brown Berets, the Black Panthers, the new Black Panther Party, the Revolutionary Intercommunal Black Panther Party, the New African Black Panther Party, the International Brown Berets, the New Era Young Lords, and also, last but not least, my party, which is the Noble Young Lords Party. All right? As you know, we are a socialist organization, vanguard. I'm formerly incarcerated, but for those who don't have felonies, I could join the party, and perhaps we can make a cadre within the party to be the militia, or it can be regulated as a militia. Because if you're in a militia, right, if you're in an unregulated militia, the law enforcement cannot really mess with you with the guns. Correct. That's the reason why. When people see, why don't sell none to them? They got guns, they got AK-47, they got this, they got that, because they're militias, they're unregulated militias. So in the state of New York, unregulated militias is legal. So what's been happening within the past few weeks, senators throughout different states of the country is passing bills to protect the Second Amendment, urging citizens to go join the local militia. So therefore, you could get your guns and to protect the Second Amendment. which is the Bill of Rights. All right. Um, we stand against terrorism, against domestic and foreign terrorism. We stand against imperialism. We stand against capitalism. We stand against fascism. The Noble Yellow Party, mind you, is guided by Marxist, Lenin, and Maoist philosophy, ideology. And it's the mass line, which means from the people to the people. As we all know, people do not create these conditions, just like no one created the Black Lives Matter, no one created the Civil Rights Movement, no one created all these social movements. It's conditions that create these movements. It's conditions that have individuals. Some operate revolutionary, some operate reactionary. In regards to the conditions, in regards to the terrain of where they're at. The other thing I wanted to bring up is that the Noble Yellow Party, all right, we're a socialist party, a socialist organization. We deal with true democracy. The way we operate is that we look for contradictions, right, within the party. We are open to proposals for new rules and regulations and programs. So we look for the contradictions, we expose the contradictions, and then we go with criticism from the party, and then self-criticism, and then we look for solutions opposed to focusing on the problem. And we deal with dialectical materialism and historical materialism. All right? The other thing I was gonna let me see what else to bring up. Okay, Ramadan is around the corner, inshallah. The other thing is, I believe this Saturday is supposed to be some type of event in the Lower East Side honoring Dr. Ramon Emeterio Betances. He's the leader, founder of the Grito de Lares movement. He's the father of the Puerto Rican Revolutionary Movement, which is Dr. Ramon Emeterio Betances. They're gonna be honoring him at an event in the Lower East Side this Saturday. I'll give you more details as I get updated informations. The other thing to mention in regards to the movement and the party is that yes, we need to get together in regards to the United Nations 2030 agenda, which is sustainable development. So us as individuals need to get together and create small businesses, create alliances, create cooperatives, and if you're Boricua, go back to the island and acquire some land, put your business out there, save Puerto Rico from the oppressors, save Puerto Rico from the predators. We still have the fiscal board. A lot of Boricuas is not in favor of the fiscal board. The other thing too is now the House in Puerto Rico is majority is the left, which is the Puerto Rican Independence Party. You have the Puerto Rican not the Puerto Rican Nationalists. You have the Puerto Rican Independence Party, people that voted and stuff like that. You have the Puerto Rican Independence Party, Puerto Rican Nationalist Party, and the Communist Party of Puerto Rico. Those are the three right there, and they have other organizations as well. That is fighting for the independence of Puerto Rico. So don't get manipulated because they still trying to make Puerto Rico become a state. Don't get manipulated with that argument, with that lame argument when they say, oh, if you want more rights, you become a state, or if they say, oh, if you want more privileges or more benefits, you should become a state. Well, if you utilize in that analysis, if we become a state, we get more of this, more of that. So why is it Boricuas from the diaspora, we here in the mainland, and we not getting these so-called dreams that they're talking about? The only thing that would be different is that the people in Puerto Rico, which is the island of Borinquen, will be able to vote for the president. That's one. And yeah, that's the only thing that would change. And yeah, because we'll be treated as second-class citizens regardless. So that's the only thing that would change. And that would change, and then the Boricuas, the natives, would not be in key positions of the island. The key positions will be held by the settlers. History shows that. Look what happened to Hawaii. Look what happened to the other areas when they became a state. The natives, the indigenous, got a small portion of the area that they once had. Not only that, land back. A lot of treaties been violated. A lot of people is fighting. Ideologically, also educationally. The first revolution is the mind. So revolution means change. And as the Quran says, Allah will not change the conditions of the people till the people change the conditions within themselves. All right, and it's a duty for every Muslim. Muslim brothers and sisters, to seek knowledge from the cradle to the grave. And mind you, even the Bible says that my people are destroyed for the lack of knowledge. You know what I mean? So, and not only that, here in this country, and not only that, I think in South America as well, it was illegal for the Asiatic black man to be able to read and write. And they used to try to paint this image as if we was ignorant. But here in 2021, they keep finding more information with slaves that was highly intelligent within the language that they were speaking, that they retained, which was Arabic, because they was Muslims. Because one was a prince, so he was able to negotiate his way back. Not every person had the same success, because there was a Muslim queen or Muslim princess that was captive as a slave by England. They gave her a lot of props, but of course it took away the power, her authority. It's a variety of different things that's out there, like when you look into the history books. With that said, be on point of the council meetings, your town hall meetings. Look at the bills that's being passed, because it's a 10-year action that the United States has to do a lot of things to be in accordance with the best of their capabilities of upholding the sustainable development of United Nations Agenda 2030. All the countries throughout the world have signed up to that. So they have a 10-year plan of how they're going to do this, of this sustainable development within 10 years, and, the elimination of poverty, or damn near, to be inequality. What I guess socialist. That would be a good thing. I guess socialist. All right. For more equality, true democracy. But see, when nobody on this party, when I speak about socialism, when we speak about communism, we're not speaking about socialism or communism in an authoritative sense. And we're not speaking about socialism or communism in an authoritative sense. Because those two styles of socialism and communism, right, are actually diverted and have not been successful. And those are the dictators of certain so-called communist countries who have become imperialists and who have promised the people a lot of good things, but once they got in power, gave them nothing but mayhem. And then you have revised. So there's different type of socialism and communism. So when the Noble Owners Party, and also the Migrants International Ministry of Prisons, and Migrants International Movement, look at China from a particular area, time frame, and look at the Soviet Union from a particular time frame, and study their ideologies, the success and the failures. Of course, we're not going to repeat the failures, but we look at the success and advanced success. See, we deal with science, and that's what it's about, science. Science to show with facts and to see if we can keep being produced and produced. All right? If not, it's not about an hypothesis until it's proven. So you have your hypothesis, it then becomes a theory. And when you have your formula, and when that formula is implemented in other areas and it has garnished the same results, you have your science. If not, it's just conjecture and it's hypothesis. Always check your sources. Salute. Comrade salute. Revolutionary salute. Assalamu alaikum. Noble love. Nobility. My name is Malik Alim. Peace. Power to the people. Pa'lante, siempre pa'lante.